Hi Scorpios, and welcome to your July 2022 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your month ahead of July. Wow, what an interesting, revitalizing, and polarized month ahead for you. It's looking pretty polarized, honestly, if I'm looking at these wide array of archetypes that you do have coming up in your reading. I think July is going to be such a momentous month for Scorpios. Before we get into it, Scorpios, be sure to check out the description box below. I have a mailing list. I have also the Sun in Astrology video, which I just recently did. It was a big milestone video for my channel, so if you get the chance to check that out, like it, comment on it, I would really appreciate that. But yes, let's dive into your reading, Scorpios, for July. Okay, intuitive messages for Scorpio in July. Okay, so you don't have to try as hard, okay? I feel that Scorpio got way too connected to effort and maybe even moved into a lower vibration for a while that supports certain conceptual frameworks such as the more hours I work, the more money I make. The more I worry about something, the more likelihood I have of solving that problem. The more that the more money that I make, the better my life gets. Okay, these kinds of fallacies, okay, are coming up in July to be revealed really clearly. So I'm seeing a lot of Scorpios basically accomplishing it. Okay, so working that 70-hour work week and seeing, wow, it's actually not given me any more than the 40-hour work week or the 30-hour work week. So these types of realizations are what start to give to you now. And I think that honestly, the 2023 year has already come early for some of you, as I'm seeing a tinge of that energy that I've been forecasting for that year already starting to come up in July. So I think some of you are kind of like really feeling that Scorpio archetype, which deals with preparing early for winter, that is something Scorpios are notorious for. So the scorpion species prepared for a lot of the natural disasters that happened in the ancient world beforehand, and therefore they survived, and they were able also to then evolve into the new world better. So that is happening for you all here. And I feel that it requires that you really overcome some of these lower vibrational, humanistic idea forms that just don't apply anymore. Okay, so sometimes you work less and you make more in reality. Sometimes you wear less perfume and you smell better. Okay, sometimes you try less hard on the diet and your body takes better form. Okay, this is really what I'm trying to illustrate for you moving into July, Scorpio, because it's really important from like here on out. Okay, July and forward, that we don't fall into these like traps of like perfume means I smell good. Okay, working 70 hours means that I make more. Also, there's tons of examples like that, but these types of things are just so important to be seen. I mean, if you love perfume, great. I like colognes as well, and nice smelling things, but it should be because we love it, okay, not because we think that it's like determining something that crazy about the opinions of others, okay? I also feel that there's a major tightening of the belt that has to happen here, Scorpios. I mean, even if you don't have any type of like financial concerns, it's not really for money's purpose. It's more like to start regulating your own cravings or your own impulses here is better late than never. It's better to have already been in this for quite a while, but I do really feel that it has to start happening in July. So signing up for less hours at work is good here. And basically just obligating yourself less. The Eight of Swords with the Ten of Swords reversed, with the Eight of Wands reversed, is so over-obligated. And it's also maybe tightening that now, or it's going back on that now, as the reversals kind of indicate that you're not like having it, or you're not really supporting it anymore. So you might no longer support these previous mechanisms that have kept you so busy or have kept you out of your own essence. You know what I mean, Scorpios? Like, I don't think Scorpio is one of the signs that's meant to be like a busy bee so much, okay? Certainly, I think everybody can benefit from that at times in their lives. But how much is bypassed when we're just like a busy bee, okay? Especially doing something we don't want to do. How much we're kind of kept out of our element or kept from our own main story progression by being like a busy worker bee, okay? So you might find ways to have less debt traps or less any type of trap that demands you be in these busy worker bee places against your will, at least. Okay. I love working on things that are meaningful and that I love to do, but I don't particularly enjoy having to work at things that is basically a parasitic activity for another person's gain. It's good to be able to distinguish between those now as well. You have the Hermit coming up as your only major arcana card this month. Okay, so it is a month of solitude for many of you. It is a month of healing through solitude. I was mentioning in Libra's reading that just to exhale at a mind, body, and spirit level is good for July, because the next few months, really the rest of the year, is going to be quite demanding for a lot of people. So just resting like at the beach, laying out in the sun could be really good for a lot of people to get some clarity. Also, just like having evenings where maybe you're just like there with like an incredible pitcher of lemon water and just watching a series that you enjoy, safe, sound, and decompressing, vegging out a little bit is so supported in the month of July. You have the two aces, the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups. I like having two aces because it does indicate a new beginning, and it also indicates a new source of energy or something that you're really excited about. So being that it is in Cups and Swords, this has to do with the mind, and this has to do with new mindsets and new emotional feelings. So you could have new feelings for someone, and you could also have new ideas about how to structure something or how to move forward. So also emotional motivation about goals and new sources of that type of motivation are likely in July. You have two harsh swords cards, the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Swords reversed, coming up this month. So you are your own worst enemy here. Nobody's out to get you. Nobody's against you. Nobody is trying to make your life bad. You can easily get out of any of the confines or any of the negative obligations that you find yourself in now, but it's up to you to do it. Okay, I love also to see the Nine of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. Okay, themes of noble choices, themes of holding your own world in your own hands. Okay, both the Nine of Pentacles and Two of Wands are holding something that they cherish in their hands. So you could be really looking at some type of implement or some type of new knowledge or some type of new, beautiful new idea here. Don't let that be detracted by your fears or your also fears of betrayal or fears of entrapment. Find more confidence in these wonderful, grand new ideas that you have and follow through, if you can, on those beautiful new wavelengths. Okay, let's talk week to week Scorpios. Week number 1, the Hermit readed down by Ace of Cups. Important station, I want to say, of recharging. What a great opportunity for recharging your emotional bank during the first week of July. Maybe the best opportunity of this year. I would get by the ocean if you can, or some kind of body of water. The Ace of Cups indicates liquid hydration and the water element, of course. And with the Hermit, you might be there alone. It might be good to be alone by the ocean or to find your thoughts. This is also, that combination to me is the energy of a sabbatical. So some of you might take time to plan like a sabbatical for 2023 during the first week of July. That's interesting to think about. And I'm feeling that a lot of people do eventually have to have respite or some kind of greater sense of time taken away outside of any type of like duress to make greater life decisions. And this could happen during the first week of July for some of you, or you could plan to do that during that time. I love that combination of energies. It's a very good period of time to gain wisdom, okay, to maybe read an astrology book, to read a book about depth psychology, also about emotional healing or purification. It's just wonderful for gaining new wisdom, as the Hermit represents grand wisdom gained through solitude or through even sometimes isolation. I do see a little bit of isolation in this reading. the Hermit, the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Wands. Also, the Ace cards can be isolated because they're like the number one. So I do feel you to be quite detached or solo in a lot of what you're doing. So solopreneurs, solo entrepreneurs. Sorry, there's someone driving a really noisy vehicle by. Happens sometimes. Solo actors, solo decision makers, having like a sort of prestigious journey that's just you, okay? Being like a sort of like a dark night vibe or light night. I don't know. It's like a very incredible to see the amount of self-authority that's growing during this time, but it can be lonely, or it can be kind of like a mental maze as well when you don't have like a lot of people around you reaffirming you or questioning certain decisions. It might be good to have more advice during this time. But I love the first week of July for you guys. That's a wonderful time. That's a wonderful time of recharging. Week 2, the Eight of Wands, reversed, rooted down by Nine of Pentacles. Okay, business deals could have gone sour. There's a likelihood of like a loss in some type of deal. The Eight of Wands reversed indicates that like not quite as much as we thought came through from something. So someone might not come through for you, or you might have like less abundance than you calculated. But I feel that you're totally covered because Nine of Pentacles like inherently has enough. So this is what I would like to direct you to, Scorpio, is like you've arrived and you're already there. Like you already have enough with like what you have right here in week 2 of July. It in and of itself is enough. Now you might want more. There might be an insatiability, or you might feel like it's enough, but it's not like enough, you know? But it's important to at least register in week 2 of July that like your baseline or your foundation at this point is enough to like do with what you like, or is enough to rest more. Or just like the South Node, like being in your sign, right? South Node in Scorpio. It's like the ground holding you up without you trying that hard is already sufficient. But some of you with this North Node in Taurus, okay, at the same time, and Uranus opposing you, and Taurus stellium also happening this month, okay? Mars preparing to move into Taurus, which is your traditional ruling planet. That might lead you to get like super innovative, or want to try to like take something to the next level when you don't actually have to. So it's just good to know that it's kind of like for, you know what, and giggles. It's for like the sake of it that you're doing it, and try to not get too crazy. Like, oh my God, if this business deal doesn't yield me like 28 figures of income, I'm going to like lose everything that I have. In these kind of like neurotic experiences of business, neurotic experiences also of career or position. Like you already have it. Okay. You already have it. You don't have to go crazy. And in fact, the universe could really point this out to you by giving you a huge loss, and nonetheless, you're still standing on an incredible platform. So try to not get too crazy about like numbers, money, or anything like related to gambling. There's a gambling energy here, and I would really pull you guys away from that. Okay, week number 3, Ace of Swords rooted down by the Eight of Swords. So trapped by previous mindsets that no longer resonate, and then the subsequent demand for new mindset. So there's a change in mindset that really has to happen in the 3rd week. Scorpios, you'll feel it. You might have already been feeling it for all this year. Like, wow, I'm not in that place anymore. I can't associate with those people anymore. I'm not poor anymore. I'm not rich anymore. There's kind of this feeling of like, I'm not what I used to be anymore. What do I do with that? So it's like you've transformed. And now the mindset has to follow. And then that might ripple to like the physical form. So a change in appearance or a change in like style. That's not really what it's about here, but the change in mindset might do everything. Also, there's a likelihood of detachments or disconnections from people. So breakups could happen always with the Ten of Swords. There's a possibility of breakups or relationship endings. So that could also be changing your mindset. Like just by not having like communication from someone anymore, you might have a different way that your mind works. So that's going to be a net positive for you, but it might feel unfortunate. Sometimes it's hard to lose people. Week 4, Two of Wands rooted down by the Ten of Swords reversed. Okay, so I think that you don't have to worry too much about betrayal. You don't have to worry too much about any type of like backstabbing because that's reversed. But I would definitely advise more of a Two of Wands feeling. So like kind of being light in your ideas about, holding your experience in your own hands, moving into territories that are more conducive for you, being around people who support you more and don't condescend you. There's a potential of being condescended during this time, even by people that you really love or even by family members. And they don't even realize that that's happening, but you could be condescended, or and that could point to like a larger arrogance or a larger chatter that you don't need to engage in. If that's happening, I think that you just need to move on and keep moving forward, keep marching forward in your own grander systems and your own grander narratives rather than relying on any type of support from another person. Also, try to not involve too many people in long-term momentums right now. Again, I feel Scorpio is on more of a solo journey, and it's going to get you further. It's going to generate the people that it needs to, and they're going to kind of pop up. You don't need to pull people into your experience, okay? Because that can lead to jealousy, resentment, and people can get crazy. So overall, Scorpios, July 2022. Really look into recharging and healing up here, and beware also of any type of manipulations, and also expecting positive results from any type of gambling, whether that be monetary, relationship, or otherwise. So let's talk more about that in your extended, Scorpio. Let's talk more about growing into this feeling of you being supported by what you already have and not having to try so hard. Let's look at this current present sense of abundance that is here and how you can maximize that rather than feel like you've got to create something out of nothing. So that'll be linked below and in the center of your screen. Thank you, Scorpios. Have a great month ahead. Let's do the extended. Much love. Bye.